Hi, this is Jackie, aka Jax, and welcome back to Live, Laugh, Stuck, your favorite Homestuck podcast. It is your favorite, right? It's your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's real good shit.
Well, Domi, I pay you to say that, so...
This is true.
And I haven't listened to any other Homestuck podcasts.
That's all it takes! Okay, yeah, with us here always is Moosey, and
Hi.
and here new today is Domi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Always nice to show up to talk about Homestuck.
Yeah, it's great shit. Now you get to edit yourself.
Yeah. Not nearly as bad as some may make it seem.
It's terrible. Today we are talking about the intermission, which is why I got Domi on here, because Domi is more of an intermission and Problem Sleuth liker than I am, and you just need one of those around to talk about intermission.
It's true. I actually, completely unrelated to this, reread, the back half of Problem Sleuth lately. I just went to it to cross-reference some reference Homestuck was making, and then just read the back half of Problem Sleuth on accident.
That'll happen. I mean, not to me, but...
I did click one of the links in this intermission and went a few pages forward, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it definitely does take you to the middle of Problem Sleuth, and if you haven't read it before, you have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. Doesn't Homestuck later do that for, what is it? The Pumpkin Quest? What is the quest one?
Jailbreak? Bard Quest?
I did get Jailbreak, Bard Quest mixed up and threw a pumpkin in
sure
there.
did.
One or more of those things happen. Probably Jailbreak.
Yeah, Jailbreak's the one where What Pumpkin comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. Sometimes you click a link and it's referencing another part of Homestuck, or for some reason the exiles are in another page, and then sometimes it's a different comic entirely.
Yeah, when I click on one and it's the Hella Jeff one, I'm just I'll look at the pictures, but I'm not going to read this.
Oh, why would you skip out on Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff?
Especially to focus on the pictures.
It is the pictures. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like being here.
Everyone's a critic.
It definitely has an antagonistic feeling.
Besides just Homestuck in general, it if you want more antagonistic Homestuck, you get Sweet Bro Hella Jeff. None of this is about intermission, really.
No, that's okay.
Well, I think Sweet Bro Hella Jeff was linked twice or something. There was a bunch of links in the intermission.
Yeah, there's a lot of reference links.
There were. So the intermission synopsis on the Rafe site is pretty short. Can I get both of you to read that? I can link it for you, Domi, if you don't have it.
Sure, I'll go first. Spade Slick, Diamonds Droog, Clubs Deuce, and Hearts Boxcars are the Midnight Crew, a quartet of vicious black-shelled mobsters. The Midnight Crew's gang war with the Felt and their boss Lord English escalates when Slick and his crewmates break into English's mansion. They split up and search the house for clocks to break, safes to crack, and green torsos to slay. The Felt's 15 members all have different time-related powers, but they are fatally disorganized. The Midnight Crew exploit their weaknesses and kill them one by one. Soon, the only foes left are Snowman, who holds the universe hostage, and Clover and Cans, who are respectively too lucky and too huge to take down.
Tiring of the fight, Spade Slick goes straight for the big vault. Ignoring a warning from Clover, he pries it open with Crowbar's crowbar. The vault's weird time shit backfires on Slick, kicking him into a parallel timeline where things happened differently. The house is a smoking ruin. Everyone else is dead except Snowman, who rips his arm off and locks him inside the vault. Climbing down through a trapdoor, Slick finds a command station monitoring a troll's progress in the medium.
Cool shit. That is, I praise this person for summarizing fucking intermission.
Yeah, it was a lot.
One of the handy links that Actually, I got it was 3 different links that I have because on the app I have the news pages,
Mhm.
and Hussey, when this was out, linked to a couple of places that people mapped out the timelines of the
Mhm.
intermission. So I think that's pretty handy because I feel like trying to look it up now would get you stuff that had like minor or even major spoilers in it.
Mhm.
But have you guys had a chance to look at the ones I sent?
I mean, I looked
Uh,
at it.
yeah, I've glanced at them. It's it. Look, I get most of what happens in the intermission just because I'm the sort of person who's willing to sit down and take a long time to think about it,
If
right?
you're a time player,
Yeah. But like looking at it visually is just so much.
it's a
Yeah.
lot.
I don't know how to visually parse any of this.
Especially that last one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that last one's a lot.
Yeah, I'll try to remember to post links to these in the description because like the first is like pretty linear. Second, a
Mhm.
little bit less linear, and the third is just
Mhm.
sounds like what Hussey would have posted if someone asked him to post one. Yeah, so Moosey, overall, what is your impression on the intermission?
Uh
Yeah?
I mean, I guess it had to be there because y'all said that it has to be there and relates to the story.
Okay, let's be 100% clear about this. Did the intermission have to be there? No. Did it wrap back around? Yes.
Possibly could have been written better. I don't know.
Yeah, Hussey just wanted a break
Mm.
from Homestuck shit to do something simpler. And okay, I also sent you guys a quote from the commentary
Mhm.
that I'm gonna read because their intermission also goes back to being way more reader driven where readers will input commands.
Mhm.
And this is a comment under one of the commands where they kept trying to get him to focus on certain characters, like be
Mhm.
Hart's boxcar and stuff, and he would just be a completely different character.
Mhm.
So that has a commentary. Readers took advantage of their freedom to submit commands mainly by trying to come up with inventively stupid ways of convincing me to switch the focus to a different character with be the other guy type of commands. I almost never cooperated because that would have been malpractice. Sometimes I feel like not many people appreciate the fact that the reader influenced storytelling never meant the readers actually got what they wanted. It virtually always meant that they were given anything and everything except for what they wanted. And that's Homestuck.
Yeah.
Like a very antagonistic view of the
Yes.
Yeah.
stop reading my stuff. Just
Yes.
here, take this garbage.
Yes. Homestuck is a reader antagonistic piece of work. Just
Yeah.
inherently. It gets more and more obvious as we go.
Yeah, no, it's just like it is on a downward slope of antagonism and it's not gonna stop. I will say this particular kind of thing stops.
Mm,
Just this like method of storytelling does
yeah.
go away, you know? Cuz like what the intermission is like structurally, right?
Hmm.
Is like it's a return to form to like act 1, right?
Hmm.
But even before then it's a return to form for Problem Sleuth, which was all reader commands like act 1 but without even the pester logs, right?
Hmm.
It's just all forum game bullshit
Yeah.
where Hussey just spends the entire time doing genie logic while people try to solve puzzles. And that's what this was.
Like a text adventure, but a human is the computer.
Yeah, this is just a very, very bloody version of Problem Sleuth.
Mm.
Like one of my favorite little visual callbacks is their inventory systems where they have their one item and then a whole bunch of weapons.
Hmm.
Is a reverse of the Problem Sleuth inventory system where you had 5 items and one weapon slot.
Mm.
Did any of the characters stick out to you? I know that they don't all get a lot of characterization,
Hmm.
but if you had to choose your favorite of the suits and your favorite of the felts.
I mean, I'm looking at my printed out set of all of the little dudes that, I don't have a good read on any of them. I kind of like the one who just hides in the oven.
Biscuits?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then, like Snowman stood out because they seem to be kind of more singled out. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess Spade's Slick, who, I don't know, from the timeline becomes Jack Noir or something, except with 2 eyes or something. I don't know.
Or something.
Yeah, or
Story.
something.
Foreshadowing, possibly.
Yes. And how much do you know about billiards?
Nothing. Except
Cool.
the 8-ball ends the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you sink the 8-ball before it's time to do so, you lose.
Mm.
Which is why you can't kill Snowman.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking comic. Hey, do you know about data structures and billiards and clown?
I know nothing about clowns.
You don't actually need to know anything about clowns. Let's be
Fair enough.
100% clear on that.
Fair enough. Do you know Juggalo lore?
No.
Okay, let's also be 100% clear on this. There is no Juggalo lore in this comic.
I guess the Juggalo lore is more mentioned in Friend Sim.
Yeah, but even then, like, Homestuck Juggalos are not actual Juggalos.
For sure.
Is Hussy a juggalo?
Questionable.
Questionable. Was he when he wrote this? I don't think so.
Mm.
Are they now? Maybe. It's, I don't know, just fucking billiards, man. You gotta know about billiards.
Do the balls have significance?
Later on, kind of.
Oh, but like in general, there's no like astrology of billiards that like sad old men pay attention to or anything.
Not really. The biggest thing to note with the billiards references here are the 8-ball for Snowman, and yeah, that's about it. Past that, the rest of these are basically just like number puns.
That's
Okay.
fair. There's a lot of number puns.
I see. I where did I read? Did you send me something that said Ichi was named after Ichi, the number 1 in
Yeah.
Japanese?
And then like Sawbuck is number 10, and like Sawbuck is another name for like a $10 bill.
Mm.
It's all kinds of silly shit like that.
Crowbar. The crowbar looks like a 7.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's it.
Some of them are puns. Some of it's just like, I don't know, man. Looks like a 7 to me.
Yeah.
Eggs and biscuits numbers are because eggs is a dozen and 12, and biscuits is 13, which is a baker's dozen.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah, yay. Shouldn't he be donuts then or something? Isn't it for donuts? I don't know. Just wordplay.
Yeah, but what about the 4 dudes, the suits?
I mean, I guess Spades stands out the most.
yeah,
I
he
liked
did
when
say
he
that,
was
I bet.
horsing around. That was cute.
Oh yeah.
And then with Snowman song.
Yeah.
So Hussey made reference to when he was first designing these characters, he had this idea of forgive and forget, where like one would always forget, one would never forget, one would always forgive, and one would never forgive.
Mm-hmm.
And Club's Deuce always forget, obviously. And I don't know, it's just like it never really panned out except for like just a little bit here and there. So I just think that's interesting that that's a dynamic that we almost got and didn't.
Yeah, that is interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Commentary, baby.
Yeah, I haven't gone through as much of the commentary as I meant to, which is a shame because I have all the physical books just like sitting on the shelf over there.
Most of the intermission commentary is, haha, that's a Problem Sleuth reference. You see, it's helpful if I point out all the Problem Sleuth references.
Yep.
We've obviously made like vague statements that some of this is going to be important later.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make any notes of anything that you could guess will be important later?
There is a lot of stuff that I just didn't know what should be important. I wrote down that Spades has licorice dogs, Clubs has licorice gummy bears, Diamonds has Swedish fish, and Hearts has wax lips, because I don't know, I keep noticing the patterns of everyone having a thing, whether it's the Guardians all being so obsessed with the weird wizards, clowns, or whatever types of things.
For sure.
I didn't make note of like all of the time powers because I was going to.
That's fine.
I printed out like the pictures of all of them, and I was going to write it down, but then I was like, I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to like look it up without spoiling stuff or whatever. Some kind of time paradox is happening. There's a guy named Lord English who has an overcoat.
Is this the first time Lord English has been brought up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody got punched into a horse calendar.
That is the best gag in the intermission.
Yeah.
There's a barcode scanner, and then Spades finds one of those Homestuck TVs, and there's a troll on it. So everyone is playing a game of every other person or something. But yeah, for the most part, my note at the top of my notes here is what the heck is going on? And then I wrote a quote from the part where it says, Stitch mutters to himself in his shop. He guesses eggs and biscuits are roughhousing again because the fabric of spacetime is tearing something fierce on Lord English's Cairo overcoat. It's like, that's just a bunch of words.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just a bunch of words. Domi, is there anything that you just want to note about the intermission or that people should pay attention to as an intermission / problem sleuth liker?
So, I mean, less as like an intermission / problem sleuth thing, right? Because, like, don't get me wrong, if you liked the intermission, it can be fun to go back and read Problem Sleuth and keep track of all the little references and everything. It's not important as a Homestuck reader, right?
But it's fun.
It is fun. And I'll probably give some little tidbits here and there here in a moment, but the things I wanted to note as a Homestuck reader to pay attention to were at the very end of the intermission, after Spade Slick gets into the vault. That shit's important. And also all of the like he made this town shit, that's also relevant to keep track of. Like, whenever that line comes up, it usually means that you should be paying attention.
Wait, I don't remember that specifically. What was that?
So there's a number of references made throughout the intermission to how Spade Slick made this town.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find some of those, find the important ones for you real quick.
One of the big ones is I think it was one of the first time weirdness things that happens whenever Dai pulls out or puts in Slade Slick's pin, and then it's just a wasteland.
Yeah, I did see the
looking world.
Scurrilous Straggler there.
Yes,
yeah, that was
that's
one too,
the one. Yeah, those are the two.
So
when Spade Slick isn't around, it's a wasteland, and then there's also that bit where they jump to the past and the Scurrilous Straggler is there.
So is Spade Slick the god? Did he make the things?
I mean, he sure could be.
I mean, I did go back to the previous chapter and look at the. I did see one of the other minions looks like boxcars, because Spade Slick looks like Jack Noir.
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 That's an NWOR.
Yeah, Noir. Isn't it French? Fucking
yes.
French. Fucking French.
That is why that word is like that.
Just blame the French. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't use that word very much. Nor.
Ah, here's the page. 1274. That's where the Scurrilous Straggler shows up.
I just like that this is our first shot of the trolls. I don't know how I forgot this happened.
Yeah, this is the first time you see a troll. Some other tiny little problem sleuth things. The whole carrying around candy in your hat thing. That's a problem sleuth reference.
What about their porn?
Their porn is a problem sleuth reference as well.
Everyone has to have their own flavor of porn.
Yeah.
I love that Diamond's Droog just has straight up actual porn.
It is real good. I love that he's the only one with like actual smut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to curl back around to the candy thing because I think it's fun. So at the start of Problem Sleuth, one of the first things that the titular Problem Sleuth does is pick up like a pile of candy corn and then stuff it in his hat for safekeeping. And then it
Mhm.
sticks with it, it stays there for the entire adventure until like the very end where it becomes plot critical and he tosses it out. So like the carrying around candy in your hat is,
Mhm.
the entire time is a reference to that, and it's very good.
So were these characters in the previous comic?
Okay, so that's an interesting thing. So back when Hussey was running Problem Sleuth,
Mhm.
and you got to keep in mind this was when they were running like a much smaller operation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's real funny reading the news posts of like, wow, even this one crashed the servers. Okay, well, and just like constantly talking about having to do server upgrades.
Yeah, so when Hussey was running Problem Sleuth, one of the ways that they monetized it was that you could pay them money to commission a specific command.
Mhm.
And then that command wouldn't be used in the main story, but it would instead be like a branching path. So you could go back to different sections of the story and be like, I want to commission you to do this command off of this page, right?
Mhm.
And the Midnight Crew showed up because somebody emailed Hussey and was like, hey, I want to commission you with like this amount of money to draw like a little side adventure starting from this page with these characters that showed up in this D&D game that I'm running called the Midnight Crew.
Mhm.
And they gave Hussey very little instruction on what these characters were like, and Hussey just kind of ran wild with it and created the Midnight Crew. And they kind of served as like these, like sort of like dark alter ego side villains in that like side non-canon Problem Sleuth story. And then Hussey liked them so much that the Midnight Crew adventure was the option for what Hussey was going to do if they didn't do Homestuck.
Mhm.
Which is why when Dave goes to mspaintadventures.com, the Midnight Crew adventure is what's running, because it's like in the parallel universe
Okay.
where MS Paint Adventures did Midnight Crew next.
I thought that maybe Midnight Crew was part of the Problem Sleuth thing and like just a reference to old comics or something and continuing from some pre-existing timeline or something.
Yeah, and like in that sense they kind of are, because they're like part of like that non-canon Problem Sleuth branch, right?
Mhm.
But like they also don't technically appear in the main Problem Sleuth comic.
Mhm. Weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, also in the intermission, Spade Slick goes to mspaintadventures.com,
Mhm.
and then it's Homestuck that is running,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
right? So like there's like a double parallel universe kind of thing going on here.
Okay. So is that also plot relevant? These are just two different timelines canonically.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that it is.
Okay.
You could definitely, with that like you could definitely take that and run and draw some correct inferences, right?
Mm.
Huh. I might have to talk to you about that later.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was gonna answer the other way.
Oh, fair enough.
But you're the time person.
Both true and false.
Yeah. A Homestuck story. Did this happen in the comic? Yes and no. Is it literally on the page? I mean, it's what your eyes tell you. What does your heart tell you? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to delve more into this, because it's just time shenanigans and
Mhm.
lots of murder and plot
Yeah.
corruption.
There are a lot of time shenanigans, and if you really, really want to dive into it and dig into this, you could fish out some stuff that would be like you could figure some stuff out about the greater cosmology if you really wanted, but it's like it's not anything that won't be explained again later, you know?
I think
Yeah,
it'd also be hard for me to figure that out without really knowing what to look for.
For sure.
yeah, that's definitely true. It's definitely more of a hindsight, arrested development, like, go back, and it's like, "Ah, I see now."
Mhm.
But also a lot of it is just, like, Hussey needed a fucking break,
Yeah.
which is fair.
Instead of taking a gigantic hiatus.
So I feel like there's a question that's worth asking here.
Yeah, go for it.
How do we feel about Heart's boxcars just biting a man's head off?
Oh, delicious. Tasty.
I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, right?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
the command was, "Try to eat him."
Yeah.
He
Is
succeeded.
this relevant plot information? Do I need to note this for later?
No, not really. It's just a very funny panel.
Yeah. Yeah, it was surprising. I remember being a bit surprised by it the first time I read it. Uh, but it's good shit. It's like, I don't know, like it felt almost like those satisfying videos felt like.
Oh my god. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just very clean and smooth, and it just, I don't know. It just gave me similar vibes to those satisfying videos. And then he gets knocked into a horse calendar.
I wonder if anyone else has tried to monetize the I'm going to fork my intellectual property for monetary gain. I mean, it's a unique way to make money.
Yeah, nah, it's wild and kind of cool if I'm being honest. Definitely not something that would work at the volume of fans that
Mm.
Homestuck got, but like it is kind of cool to go through Problem Sleuth and be like, "Ah, there's a little branch here." Even
Mm.
if one of them ends very quickly.
Yeah. Shit, you won't understand Moosey, but this is how they should have done the epilogue.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this is very exciting, especially because we are now, as of recording, less than a month away for the first episode actually being published.
Mhm.
So, I'm excited about that. I'm excited for Act 4.
Mhm.
Do you remember what was going on in Homestuck before we got to intermission?
John got to a gate, I think. And did Rose get into the game? Or Dave connect as her server or something?
Yes, Rose got into the game last second.
Mhm. And then we still need to get everyone else connected.
Yeah. It's so funny because, like, if you hear there are 4 acts and 4 kids, and at the end of Act 1, John gets in, like,
Mhm.
I at least would naturally assume, okay, at the end of each act, another kid gets in.
Yeah,
And
you would
here we
expect the
are.
pacing to be much better.
And here we are going into Act 4, and 2 kids still need to
Yeah.
get their asses in.
Is there a creative reason why we get Act 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6-1, 6-6-2, 6-6-3, 6-6-4, 6-6-5, and 6-6-6? Like, was
I
that a
mean,
creative decision? Or,
you said the number yourself.
I mean, just because he really wanted to put that in there? They wanted that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Is that really it?
Yeah, no, that's it. Like the
Fantastic.
only reason Act 6's act structure is like that is because they really wanted to get to Act 6, Act 6, Act 6.
That's extremely funny. I thought maybe there was another reason that I can't talk about yet. But that is hilarious. Fantastic. Um well, cool.
You
Kind of
know,
a huh?
if well, just a thought, if Hussey would have thought of through this correctly, he could have just had, or sorry, they could have just had a Act 69.
Oh
You're not
man.
wrong.
Yeah. Uh Sorry, that just reminds me of how the first Adventure Zone ends on episode 69.
Honestly, the Act 69 might have been more thematically relevant given that adds
Yes!
up
Oh my
to
god!
fucking yeah.
You're right. Act 69 would have been more thematically relevant.
Something about the number 15? I don't know.
Uh, Oh my god. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting. We'll figure out the schedule for doing Act 4. I'll get with Domi and figure out how we're gonna split that up. And I'm really excited. I mean,
Woo!
I'm just really excited, but also like because you haven't finished Act 4. You've gotten through
No.
part of Act 4 because you said you remembered more troll conversations.
Yeah.
So soon we'll be getting into for real brand new territory with you,
Mhm.
which is cool shit. Yeah. Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I like pizza.
Pizza good.
The felt is wonderful, and they are my babies.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Moosey, plug your pluggables.
Go to moosadee.com and look at my stuff, the games and the zines and the I don't know.
And whatever else is there.
Yeah.
This is in the future. Who knows what will be there?
Star
Domi,
Wasteland.
do you got pluggables?
Not really. I mean, I am the show's editor. If you want to reach me for business inquiries, I'll have Jax put my email in the description.
Cool. I also have your SoundCloud in the
Oh,
description
yeah, that'll work.
of literally every episode.
That's true. I should consider using that.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I have a fucking outro for this. So listen to the outro. I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. I have asthma. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to Domi for editing the show and for our theme song, which you can find at Domino Thief on SoundCloud and in the show's notes. Also, thank you to our fakest fan tier member, Danny the Spoonlord, for your support. If you'd like to get a shout out or just support the podcast, head on over to ko-fi.com/jaxyaks, link also found in the show notes, and sign up for as little as $1 a month. For all other links, head over to jaxyaks.com where you can always find the latest information. Thanks for listening!